Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 between Virtus.Pro and Na'Vi. Both of those first two games were missions and a half, very long durations. First one was like 77 minutes, second one was 55 minutes. Let's see if this one follows the trend and is maybe 30 minutes then, getting 20 minutes shorter of time. We'll have to wait and see. But Na'Vi did actually end up taking that second game. Pretty much a very identical scenario to the first game, where VP was just ahead and they couldn't quite siege the base, so it got brought out quite a while. Exactly the same thing happened in the previous one. VP was on the defensive and Na'Vi was in the driver's seat, trying to play as much pressure as they could. It was a little bit more back and forth in that second game, but even still, very similar story, but just with two different outcomes. So ended up being one game apiece between both of these two teams. So we'll see who's able to take this third one and prove who is the better CIS team. We'll see if this is going to be exactly the same strats coming out. You know, we've seen Venge Drow twice come out from Na'Vi. Are they going to do it a third time? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's something that they just clearly love to run. So, you know, maybe if VP aren't going to do anything different, they probably will. So they lean up with the Viper pick. Exactly the same as the first two games. So this is going to be for DM. And Na'Vi go for the Venge pick. So the Enchantress, exactly the same as the second game. Is their second pickup for the position 5. And Na'Vi are inevitably going to be picking up the Drow as their second pickup as well. Just the natural pairing with the Venge. And there it is. So far we got exactly the same start in all three games. Well, actually, I think in the first game the Enchantress was like the third pickup. But even still, we'll see how this ends up panning out. Obviously, in the first game it was the Viper and the Clockwork pairing which really shut down the Venge and the Drow. In the second game it was the Viper and the Tusk, which, you know, it does very similar things, but it didn't quite work out as well, purely the fact that there was a few tri-lane scenarios going on. So we'll see how that ends up changing. Even these bans are exactly the same. The Mars gets taken away, then the Tiny gets taken away. What was the next one for the side of VP? I think it was Slardar, wasn't it? They want to take that away from General, as they've got the next pickup. So we'll probably see that again. Maybe Slardar might survive the banning phase this time. Oh, okay, so they're actually going to take away the Phoenix, which was in the hands of Roger last game. It was pretty annoying, just those constant egg stuns, especially once he got the refresher orb online. Double egg was just too much. Not enough scrambling power on the side of VP to stop it from going off every time. Once again, the Spectre gets banned out from the side of Na'Vi, and then there's the Slardar ban from VP. So, I mean, I can't remember what Na'Vi banned as their final ban out for this one. I think it was a PL, wasn't it? So they banned out the PL. Definitely a carry which does pretty well up against the Drow. You know, because obviously the Drow is mainly a single target based hero. Kind of difficult when you've got 2 million illusions to deal with. Obviously she can try and build against it, going for a Maelstrom or the Aghanims builds perhaps. There's like the sort of ways you can deal with a PL. Obviously it's not exactly the best counter in the world, but you know, in a dire situation is what you're going to go for. So we'll probably see a PL ban, sorry. And then I think VP should probably move back to their Clockwork pickup, which they did in the first game. It worked really well for them. Obviously the game took 77 minutes to finish, but I mean, it got them the victory in the end, so maybe we can see that happening again. But Na'Vi are really thinking about this ban. Okay, so they get rid of the PL once again. So far this game is just a exact mirror of game 2. Despite the Phoenix ban, that's the one thing that's different. Is this going to be the Clockwork pick again for the side of Na'Vi? That's what it did in the previous game. Probably not. I mean, General, yeah, he did find quite a nice few grabs with the hook shot initiation, especially once he got his Ags online and was able to go for the double hooks. Oh, so they're going to take the Tusk this time. And VP, Clockwork, yay! Okay, so again, it's the other way around. So Tusk on Navi's side this time. Clockwork on VP's side. We'll see how this little swap around ends up panning out. Obviously, the Tusk is really potent on the side of the Drow and the Venge, especially if you run it as a tri-lane. Because that tag team has so much value, especially with the double slow that comes out from the Frost Arrows as well as the tag team. It can be quite dire to go up against, but Na'Vi, they take the Bat Rider as their 4th hero, and then it's actually the Faceless Void for VP. So, I mean, if the Faceless Void can get on top of this Drow with the Cronus Fish, he will die quickly, but there's always going to be that potential for the Venge swap save. So, it's not going to be the easiest grabs for the Faceless Voids by any means. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Always Want to Fly this game to make sure that V-Tune doesn't just keep getting caught out. Again, exactly the same bans in the last phase. VP, they take away the Pugna. Na'Vi, they take away... Actually, yeah, they take away the Invoker this time. I can't remember what they took... I think they took away the... Zeus, I think, in the previous game. Previously, it was looking like both teams after their mid laner. General's going to be rolling on this Bat Rider instead this game. A good way to get an initiation onto the Faceless Void and pull it back into the rest of the team. So we'll see if this Void's going to build the Battle Fury to just try and go for pure farming speed and try and outpace the Drow, or maybe go for a more fighting orientated style and go for like a MKB, Mjolnir, something like that, early BKB. So VP ban out the puck this time. This is going to be a nice pickup for the side of Na'Vi. But Na'Vi, they still sort of need a frontliner. So we could potentially see the Dragon Knight pick up one more time. And VP have gone for the Storm Spirits. There is that reach now available to get on top of the Drow, as well as the hook shot from the Clockwork. So there's a lot of different things that the Venge needs to be focusing on to make sure this Drow stays safe. You've got the Clockwork hook shot to come in, you've got the Storm Spirit zip to come in, and then you've also got to be mindful that if you end up using up your charges to keep her safe from that, you might end up just her getting caught out by the Faceless Void Chronosphere instead. So it's going to be a very difficult game for Always Want to Fly. He's going to be really on it. So see what Na'Vi are going to grab as their final hero. This is a very speedy draft, this one. I think both teams just realised what the other team's going to do. So much reserve time still left. So what's Na'Vi going to pick up for their final hero? Will it just be the DK yet again? Maybe go for something a little bit more different? A Silencer? Silencer could be quite nice to kick off the initial ganks onto the Faceless Void, as well as making sure the Storm Spirit can't just keep flying around the map constantly. I'm not sure if that's in Iceberg's wheelhouse. So no, they are just going to grab the DK again. So very similar sort of style coming out here from Na'Vi. But we'll see if VP is able to have a really dominant showing in their laning phase as they did in the first game with the Viper and Clockwork pairing going up against the Drow and the Venge. But I think this time Na'Vi are going to be running this as a tri-lane with Roger as well, trying to really utilise the tag team damage, and then just leave General with the on the solo off lane. I mean, they probably actually run this as a aggressive tri-lane and then just leave General in the safe lane down bottom. It could be quite nice. Be able to set up for a few early kills onto the Void. So we'll see if Na'Vi is going to run this as a tri lane. Pretty sure they will. It just works so well every time it is run. Oh, here comes another one. Ah, bless me. So sneezy today. Who knows what's going on? So, yet again, one more time, VP, they're going to go sit on this high ground. And Na'Vi, they're going to go sit on this high ground. Oh, wait, actually, no. VP are mixing it up. They're going to wrap around the top. Oh, my days. I don't think Na'Vi is going to see this coming. This big brain plays. Look at that. They're wrapping around the top. Maybe Save's going to try and go up and get a nice little flank onto the back of him. But it's going to be a little bit difficult. There's 4 heroes on the side of Na'Vi set up here. Roger, he will spot out quite a lot of them. Always wondering if he's going to try and wrap around the back. Maybe trying to go block him off. But he will decide against it. It seems like he runs into Ilias. They actually still see Save. Save needs to be careful. He will get caught by this initial stun from Always Wanna Fly. No? Okay, doesn't bother. So, Save will survive.
Tell me someone saw that.
Thought maybe he could have set up for a stun and then the Ice Shard block came out from Roger, as well as the Frost Arrows from V-Tune could have been quite potent. And they're not actually even going to run this as a tri lane. They're actually just going to send Roger down bot lane to do a dual setup with General. Just going to be a very vanilla 2-2 on the bounties as well. So I'll have to see how this pans out for Na'Vi. I was sure they were going to run this as a aggressive tri lane. Maybe they've not done it too many times and they don't feel too comfortable trying to run that sort of playstyle, perhaps. Who knows? But even still, we'll see how this just standard 2-1-2 setup goes. Obviously, the Viper Clockwork combo in the first game just tore this pair into shreds in the previous matchup. So we'll see if maybe Na'Vi, they're just a little bit more prepared to it this time. Not going to fall to the same trap. Well, I mean, the trap is literally just Save running at them, trapping people in with the cogs. And the Nevertoxin on top. So both teams just dragging creep waves behind towers. So V-Tune's going to be able to farm up this wave for free. Create a pretty decent creep equilibrium as well. And exactly the same thing happening for DM and Save. Mind you, DM's going to push in a little bit harder. Seems like he's actually forcing down the wave with a Nevertoxin. And V-Tune's actually controlling it more. We're just going for standard last hits. It means the wave will push towards the tier 1 tower. So it may lose a couple of last hits potentially. No, you should still get more. So how's this trade going in the mid lane? 10-1 to GPK to the 10-1 of Iceberg. Very, very even between these two. I think in the previous game we did see Iceberg have a slight advantage in the laning phase. But then a couple of rotations that came out from the rest of VP, they were able to bring it back to a neutral standing. But, I mean, it's neutral already. Aggressive coming out from Roger in general onto Ilias, but he's put himself into a really dangerous situation. Lovely Ice Shard blocks there. It keeps him alive. It lets him push himself onto the other side of the shards. If he didn't get that off, he would have felt easy prey there to Epileptic Kid. This is always the annoying thing as a Bat Rider, is that you need to spam these sticky napalms to really get a lot of effectiveness in these laning phases, but you're giving away so many free stick charges that it is relatively easy for the other side to sustain, as long as if you don't get ran down and killed. I mean, this lane's a lot more passive in this matchup. I think Saved DM managed to get the first blood by like 3 minutes last time, so think Always Butterfly's learned. He's not going to put himself in those sort of dangerous situations. And potentially put him into a very awkward position. So still incredibly even between these two mid laners right now. Seems these two heroes are evenly matched in their ability to get last hits and denies. Here, a little cheeky double damage rune spawns down bottom. Get an easy ball up there for Iceberg. Nice double steal with the creeps there from Na'Vi. V-Tune getting one, Always Butterfly getting the other. General taking quite a bit of harassment just from the tomato, running him down. Not quite enough yet just to try and force him under the tower. Roger's actually TP'd up to the top lane by this outpost. Maybe thinking about trying to set up for a potential kill here onto save. I don't think they're going to be able to quite find the connection just yet. Neil managed to fall back, but there is those 5-minute bounties coming up now. And Save needs to be careful. There's going to be two heroes collapsed on top of him. The cog setup comes out, so he will be able to get the bounties at least. And he might even be able to survive this. The cogs are just about wear off, so he should still end up falling down, especially with the tag team. And that's an easy first blood. See, this is why I thought, oh, you didn't even go check the rune. No, Roger, you could have got a free bounty rune. That's a little bit unfortunate for him. But yeah, this is what I was saying in the face. If you run this as a tri lane, that damage output that comes out with the tag team is so potent that you can get such easy kills. So I'm quite surprised they didn't. I mean, this is plenty of space though for V-Tune just to keep his farm going. And there is those two supports from VP, both rotate to the mid lane. Exactly the same as what we saw in the previous game. But it doesn't look like Iceberg's going to fall to the same trap. I mean, before it was the ability for the Tusk just to have that snowball in and trap the Dragon Knight. But obviously, as the clockwork this time, you've got to wait till you have your level 6 before you're actually able to do it too well. Even the cogs try to push him back, but Savvy, he's just getting trapped up, especially with the Dragon form on Iceberg right now. And he ends up falling. Big zip connection there from GPK. He wants to try and get involved. Even DM's rotate in here. With a nice snowball there from Roger. Gets him out of the Never Toxin, trying to keep him alive. Iceberg's taking quite a bit of damage. Even V-Tune's rotate in it now. And Iceberg will eventually still drop. And now everyone else on the side of Navi just needs to fall back. V-Tune's not going to have enough damage to keep this aggression going. And they will have to fall back. And that's even the position one rotated onto this mid lane. And he doesn't really get anything out of it. He's just going to be forced to try and farm up this creep wave, but it's going to be difficult for him to actually get these last hits up against the Storm Spirit. It's 2 levels higher. So he may be forced just to run back to a different lane. The jump forward from Epileptic Kid and Lilius, trying to apply a bit of pressure onto General, but Epileptic Kid just changed his mind. He's like, nah, I ain't going for that, mate. He's done his Firefly, that's all I care about. But Iceberg, rotating now down to the bot lane. Ooh, he actually changed his target, went for the kill onto Ilias instead. I think if General was probably level 6, they would have gone for the kill onto him and you know, just flame and lassoed him up. But he was just shy of that. But even still, he's 2 levels over the top of Epileptic Kid right now. Oh, another kill to save at the top lane. This time going to the hands of Ichi. A little bit of bonus gold for him. Even now level 6, so his DPS is really going to go through the roof with those procs to do all that bonus damage. It is only 20% level 1, but even still, if he's a lucky man, it's a lot of damage. So what's the gold difference between the two position ones at the moment? Very negligible. Only 60 gold between the two. Oh, nothing now. 5 gold. Between the two mids. 300 gold actually for GPK, so he's having a slightly better time in this mid so far. He's actually already sort of rotated out. Heading towards bottom to go for a potential gank setup here onto General. Epileptic Kid jumping forwards with the zip in from GPK. The Static Storm bringing it back in. I don't think there's anything General can do to survive this. Oh, he used his Flaming Lasso. I think he thought he might be able to go for a return kill there, but he was way too low to try and go for that sort of attempt. So that is the Flaming Lasso on cooldown for over 100 seconds. A little bit unfortunate there for him. And Save actually ends up finding a solo kill on Tours on the fly. I think the neutral creeps must have helped him out a little bit there, laying into Always Wanna Fly perhaps. A lot of heroes now for VP heading up towards top lane, tries to get a gank onto V-Tune, but he's able to get his TP scroll out. He goes back to the tier 2. Even Epileptic Kid came up here, wanted to use the first usage of this Chronosphere to good effect, but they can't quite find the target. Lots of stack farming up from V-Tune in general right now, trying to get themselves a little bit better into this game, as they did suffer a bit in the lane. I mean, V-Tune had an alright time, mind you, but even still, lots of heroes committed from VP up to the top lane as well. Gonna try and force down this tier 1 tower. Probably just use the Sata creep to tank it up while everyone else just lays into it as fast as they possibly can. But a very likewise move happening on the other side of the map. Na'Vi got 3 heroes down here, even the Dragon Form committed by Iceberg. Want to try to do as much damage as they can. The glyph is used. There was a couple of pings, maybe thinking about doing some sort of rotations down here to stop this tower from going down perhaps? No, they're not going to bother. They're always going to spread out instead, move into the jungle, try and find a grab onto V-Tune, but he's already out there. Farmed up those camps. Tier 1 finally falls down bottom. A little bit of extra gold for the side of Na'Vi. So maybe VP now just focusing their attention towards the mid tier 1 instead. I want to try and bring this down with the catapult wave. General's got his Flaming Lasso online. Actually just got his bots to deliver as well, so he's pretty speedy. He could potentially try and go for some sort of Flaming Lasso setup to get a kill. Not going to be the easiest one in the world. Even an aggressive glyph use. Jump forward from GPK. They get the grab back onto Iceberg, bringing him back, doing a lot of damage with that break. His Dragon Blood is completely negated. He's too damn squishy once all these heroes are laying into him. So he falls pretty quickly. And it will just be the tier 1 tower falling for the side of VP. It was a full 5-man committal from the side of VP for sure, but even still, just limiting the map for Na'Vi, reducing that safety circle. And they're even on the hunt for General now. VP gets the spot on him with the rocket flare. It's not the easiest grab though, if he can actually find the connection with the hook shot. General's heading down south through the trees. He's going for the TP out. I don't think Save's going to be able to notice it in time. And General will get out of there. So it's pretty even so far this game, 4 for 4. This is probably the most even game we've actually seen so far. Normally there's been just like one team that's just been predominantly ahead for a large portion of the game. And then just loads of skirmishes at about like the 25-minute mark around that point. But this game's very, very even. 4 to 4, only 1k gold lead favouring VP right now. But even still, the farm between V-Tune and Epileptic Kid, there's only 400 gold difference between the two, so pretty negligible. Oh, but jump forward from Save. He gets the hook shot onto Iceberg. Even GPK coming in to try and do a bit of damage. DM's coming in from the side. Wants to try and get the grab. Nice electric vortex there. Onto Iceberg holding him back. But he's got a haste rune. He's going to try and speed away, but it doesn't matter. There's too much dot damage from DM, and he melts away. So all that acid, your armor means nothing. Just burns it all off. I mean, not that actually does that in the game, but, you know, on paper. But it reduces magic resistance though, doesn't it? Yeah. So it does sort of work quite nicely with GPK at least. Which means those overcharges do a bit more damage. Overload, sorry.
That's the spirit.
So he's still working towards that MKB, Orchid, sorry. Not going to have it, like, super soon, but he's getting there. Only about, I don't know, what, 1,000 gold? Yeah, he's about 1,000 gold away from finishing that up. So we'll see how close Vitun is to getting his Manta. He's actually going straight for the Hurricane Pike. So not really too worried about the potential Orchid that's going to be coming out from GPK anytime soon. Wants to just make sure he has that ability to make a little bit of distance between him and Epileptic Kid. General's leading the charge. I think they just about got the sign to Ilias. They will now pop the smoke. And I think this is just poor Bambi dead. One punch, one arrow, and she falls. So Epileptic Kid actually went for the Hand of Midas. Gives him a little bit of bonus attack speed to try and get those time lock procs. But, I mean, it does ramp up your farm a bit. It takes quite a while for it to pay off. But, I mean, well, he's probably going off of the fact that the other two games lasted so damn long that he probably can be a little bit more greedy and go for this item. Epileptic Kid, he runs straight into General. He might just drop the Chronosphere any second now to try and just go for the solo kill. We'll finally pop it. There's quite a bit of damage coming to General, and he should actually bring him down. 3 lucky bash attempts as well. So that's just a solo kill there for Epileptic Kid. Nice little move him. 430 gold as well. That's quite a lot. Especially seeing as how that's not even a kill streak that that General was even on. I'm not sure how Gaben worked that one out. Looks like Na'Vi are on the hunt themselves, heading down this bot lane. They might potentially run into save. Even the TP coming out there from General onto the creep wave. I think Roger, he just bumped into save there. So I think this is going to be the clockwork for him. And he will drop. Went for a little hook shot there, trying to maybe find the gap to get away to the creep waves, but just way too many heroes on top of him. No way in hell he was going to find that opening. Oh, but Iceberg jumps forward with his Blink Dagger, now online, gets the grab onto DM. He just goes straight out for that TP out though. No follow-up stuns available to stop that from happening. So DM will survive. And that is the Blink Dagger now revealed on the side of Na'Vi. Iceberg's going to carry working onto this tier 1 tower as well. Using the fact that he's still got half his duration of the Dragon form left. Roger is invinced up. He actually spots DM right now, right on top of him. Jump forward from General, gets the Flame and Lasso connection. And Roger gets spotted out by that Sentry Ward, so he can't go for any sort of further grab. He even runs into GPK, now has the Orchid online, so that's just going to be a free kill onto Roger. I don't think they would have realised he's there, but he just stepped in range of the tower, which let Elias know that he was there. Dropped the Sentry Ward, and that's set up just for a free kill. But even still, Na'Vi, they get the high priority kill and the tier 1 tower. So they'll take that and just fall back. And still, just the kill board is exactly even. 7 and 7. Still 2k gold lead favouring VP. And there's actually 900 gold difference between Epileptic Kid and Vitum. So there's that gap growing a little bit. Epileptic Kid just keeping this hunt going, charging forward onto General, but he's able to get his Blink Dagger off and go with streaks. Ooh, that hook shot was actually perfectly where General was, but unfortunately it was just a moment too late. And the TP just manages to complete. Super close. Oh, that lovely little grove bow find there by Vitune. The perfect item for a drow. Bonus attack speed, attack range. Yeah, I'll take that. Why wouldn't you? So the Hurricane Pike plus the Grove Bow plus the Aura from the Venge. This guy has a redonkulous attack range. Look at that circle. It's massive. Massive, I say. Jesus. What the hell is Epileptic building? A Mystic Star? What's that for? What's he got coming on? That's not even his courier. Is he just trolling? Trolling the spectators, that's for sure. But it looks like VP's able to found a free tier 2 tower just before the 20-minute mark as well. So they have that potential to steal away the outposts. It looks like maybe Na'Vi want to go for a similar plan though. Cutting the creep wave there from General. Maybe they might attempt to try and force down this tier 2 tower before the 20-minute mark as well and then steal away VP's outpost. There is still a glyph available though for the side of VP, which would force them off for a little bit. But there is still just another wave incoming though. So this tower should still fall, but VP are going to use this distraction of their own tier 2 tower and move into the Roshan pit. They should be able to get this for free. There's not going to be any sort of response coming out from Na'Vi in time to stop this from happening. And that Roche jumps so quickly. Aegis now into the hands of Epileptic Kid. So he does have that nice little safety net. So Na'Vi don't really have any sort of vision over into their own jungle, which is exactly where everyone on the side of VP is actually hiding. Meanwhile, they've got a couple of nice little sentry wards watching the passover gap between the two sides. Then in the end, both teams having an outpost each, both getting that little 350 XP bonus. Skadi coming up as Epileptic Kid's next item. Won't have it online super soon, but what's that? 1,000, 2,000, about 2,100 gold away from finishing up that item. I think Vichu was building up his Manta, and he is. And he's about 1,200 gold away himself, so they should get those item timings relatively soon. Well, not soon, but similar times. Mainly due to the fact that Epileptic Kid does have that Hand of Midas to ramp up his farmer speed a little bit. So it's like Navi's gone for a smoke up play themselves. We're just hanging around sort of the river fjord. The Flame and Lasso collection there from General. It does actually get the grab onto DM, force his way back into the rest of Na'Vi. Oh, but the Hurricane Pipe from Vichun. Oh, it still got the kill. I thought that potentially could have got a DM save there. I think maybe if VP actually came over to lend a helping hand, they might have been able to get there in time to keep him alive. But I mean, it's a very natural thing to assume is that he will just die once he gets dragged into everyone. But a little bit awkward once that Hurricane Pike did activate. Arcane Rune on for GPK as well. Going to be some super zips going on in the next engagement, which I'm sure VP will probably go for once DMs respawn. Especially seems like they have this have the Chronosphere on the line and ready to roll. Or maybe they might just wait for Epileptic Kid to finish up his next item. We'll have it pretty soon. 900 gold away. Even taking away a couple of stacks on the side of Na'Vi there. Still not going to be able to find any openings just yet. At least Vichuni's got his own Manta style online now, so he will have some way to purge off the silences that are going to be coming out from the Orchid on GPK. We'll provide him a little bit of extra survivability in these coming fights, going straight for the Butterfly as his next item. So maybe once Epileptic Kid spots that out, he'll probably go for his MKB. Is his item after he finishes this Skadi. If he spots it in time. If not, he'll have to wait to his following item. That's just a double, two-man smoke coming out from VP right now on GPK and save. Not sure who they want to try and go for. Epileptic Kid's actually just walking straight down the mid lane. Jumps forward. Iceberg though, quick reactions. Gets the Blink Dagger back towards his own side. And avoids the potential kill that would have come out there from Epileptic Kid. Skadi now online for EP. This would be a time to go, if any. I want to start using that big ultimate cooldown. There is a invis rune, which Iceberg just manages to beat the Void too. Not exactly like it's a super important rune in these coming fights, but you know, any sort of little bonus you can get, you'll probably take. Well, actually, mind you, he's probably got rid of it already, isn't he? Oh, he's just left it bowled up. I thought maybe he might have instantly popped. Never mind. But jump forward for GPK, he gets the silence grab onto Roger. I think that's just going to be a free kill. And Roger actually ends up falling. The Aegis already reclaimed. I think that was the first kill since the Roche died. Who's still VP? Now the Aegis is finished. Now they're going to start their pressure going forward. A little bit of an awkward turn of events there, but even still, they'll see their moment to go. Even a Lincoln Sphere. Who's that from on save? DM? Ilias? GPK? So GPK's actually got a Lincoln Sphere as well. So what's that going to be the main purge of? It'll stop the Dragon Tail stun, the Flaming Lasso, the swap, the Magic Missile. There's a good few spells that will stop from happening. I think the main one is obviously the Flaming Lasso or the Dragon Tail stun. And Navi with this smoke up play, they charge it forwards. Iceberg, Dragon forms up straight away, gets the grab onto save. And there's no save for him. Even General was on the hunt for something else, can't quite find it. Maybe hunting there for Epileptic Kid, can't find the connection. So they just grab the position 4 kill. And immediately V-Tune just falls back towards the bot lane to farm up the wave. So what has Epileptic Kid got queued up as next time? He is going for the MKB. So I think maybe it's a matter of who spots the item first. I mean, Epileptic Kid's probably just going to build this item no matter what. Actually, no, he swapped out for his own butterfly. Okay. So surely this time he'll probably build, on V-Tune this is, he'll probably actually build the MKB this time rather than the Silver Edge. Because obviously, you know, it's not like a passive ability for the dodge of the butterfly. You guys could have won to have that extra DPS going out from the MKB. A smoke up from the side of VP now. They're on the hunt for something else. Or are they? I mean, they've still got this Chronosphere just sat in the back pocket of Epileptic Kid. He's had it online for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, something like that. Who knows? A really long time, but he's not actually got the chance to use it just yet. But they are running up the high ground. Epileptic Kid will actually end up running into Roger, held up by the Elder Vatos. So look, he will fall. The jump fall from Save gets a grab onto V-Tune, but he gets swapped out, but always want to fly, which keep him alive now. Looks like Save will drop. With the jump fall for Epileptic Kid, he gets the Chronosphere down, but another Save comes out for always want to fly, keeps V-Tune all the way back. Epileptic Kid's trying to focus him down, and V-Tune is just trying to run away, but he's so slow, he just can't get away. The Flaming Lasso finally comes up for General, locks down Epileptic Kid, but there's not enough damage to pull him back. Ice Shards come out from Roger, he keeps them all locked in. It looks like Epileptic Kid might end up dropping, but his Time Warp comes online just in time once again. So it's just DM who's left. And it looks like he will eventually fall. Takes quite a long time. But there's quite a few buybacks actually from the side of Na'Vi. Well, it's just one actually. It was on Roger. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. But obviously, the buyback on the side of Na'Vi and that high value kill of V-Tune, getting him brought down, and just going to increase that gold disparity between the two position ones. But I mean, it was a good attempt there by Always Want to Fly. You know, he swapped out V-Tune into safety, but I mean, because of where he was initially positioned after the first swap, he just ended up swapping V-Tune into the waiting arms of everyone else on the side of VP, and there was just so many slows that V-Tune was just crawling away. He just could not get away fast enough. You know, cheeky little regen rune bottled up there by GPK. Tasty, tasty rune for a Storm Spirit. Epileptic Kid still working onto that MKB. Did VTune spot that and swap out at all? No, he's not. So he's still going for the butterfly. Maybe he doesn't mind too much. Just seeing as how, you know, obviously the butterfly gives so much bonus agility. That it's always something that a Drow wants. The Roshan is up. Immediately scoured out by the rocket flare from Save. I think Na'Vi already realised this up as well. But General sort of leading the charge upwards to the high ground. He gets the smoke grab, wants to save, but the Orchid there from GPK forced him to keep his distance. Ooh, Iceberg, he tried to jump forwards to get the grab onto Save, but he couldn't quite get there in time. So Save was able to fall back. And this is now the Dragon form used by Iceberg as well. But GPK, yet to go, jumps in aggressively, gets to pull back onto Iceberg, but no one else is going to commit too much. And Na'Vi will just fall back. I mean, this is Dragon form committed. All VP needs to do is just wait for this to finish. And they could just move into the Roshan pit themselves. It does ruin the combat effectiveness of the Dragon Knight quite a lot if he's just in his standard human form. The butterflies are nearly online now for VTune. 600 gold away. How fast that MKB for Epileptic Kid? Oh, he's pretty close himself. He's only 200 gold. Or 300 gold, sorry. So they will have these item timings at pretty much identical points, ready for the next team engagement. Even a nice Heaven's Halberd actually there, finished up by Iceberg. That's going to be a very useful tool in mitigating the damage that's coming out from Epileptic Kid. Now it's just go straight into the Roche bit. Well, you know, Dragon form's down. Why not? To go straight on in it. It drops so quickly. The minus armor that comes out from the side of VP is just too much. And that was a fast Roche. That was really fast. Now Aegis in the hands of Epileptic Kid. He just charges straight forwards. Everyone else on the side of Na'Vi is already smoked up. Jumps into the lane. Sees the grab onto Always Want to Fly. Even GPK leading the charge as well. It looks like Always Want to Fly will fall. When he drops safe, he gets a hook shot in the background. Who's connected on it? He actually gets the grab onto Roger. So there should be this to both of the sports on the side of Na'Vi falling. And Epileptic Kid's on the hunt. He sees General down bot lane. Jumps on it once again. Not going to bother using the Chronosphere. And just the Flame and Lasso and the TP out there from General keeps himself safe. But even still, VP got what they wanted. A couple of kills. And now just going to be able to carry this, applying this pressure onto both lanes. There's going to be double worth though from this glyph, blowing up both creep waves. I mean, there's still a creep wave though in the mid lane to push on still. We might just see VP fall back to take the bottom one perhaps? No, TP up towards the top lane. Maybe thinking General might have been up here trying to farm up the creep wave perhaps. I think there could have just been a potential free tier 2 tower at the bot. But this game's definitely no longer an even standing point. Sure, the kills are only 12 to 11, but the gold leads has been growing for VP more and more. The longer this game goes on, the bigger the disparity gets. Epileptic is just going so aggressively. 3 heroes on the side of Na'Vi are all grouped up here. This could be a perfect Chronosphere if he manages to get it. But instead he just jumps straight onto Always Want to Fly. When try to focus him down. Nice hook shot there from Save. Gets the grab, but the Venge's already dead, so it's not going to be that save. We're going to try and bring it down before Venge is able to get in this. Get a nice swap save. VTune. Oh, he just barely dies before Always Want to Fly. Might be able to get the swap. Epileptic Kid though, he's on a triple kill. Hunting down for more. It's this Iceberg, General, and Always Want to Fly left. They keep this jump going. Always Want to Fly. He tries to go for a swap out. Ends up swapping the wrong person. And GPK, he gets swapped, it doesn't matter. The DK dies, the Venge dies. 4 deaths on the side of Na'Vi. Well, it's technically 5 because that's a dieback on the Venge. I think this is just game over in all honesty. I mean, all these 3 heroes both gone for 40 seconds plus. They could potentially take this tier 3 tower and go for the tier 4s. But they're going to play a little bit more conservatively. They're going to take the middle barracks, probably take the top barracks as well. So a little bit of a blunder there from Na'Vi, getting caught out in that sort of manner. There's a reason why this Faceless Void's like such a high priority pick. I mean, he's still not even really used the Chronosphere. I think he's used it like twice this entire game. He just hasn't needed to. It's pretty much just been for solo pickoffs. Every single time, like, he never really has the opportunity to get like a 3-4 man Chrono at all. It's just everyone on the side of Na'Vi is just always getting picked off one by one. VP are just going to start working onto this two at the bottom. They've still got Aegis online. I think they've still got the cheese as well in the hands of GPK. Oh, they have actually used the cheese, so they didn't have that, but even still, Aegis and Chrono all available to use. We're going to see some, well, we need to see some more Remaculous holds coming out from Na'Vi, similar to what we saw in the previous game, or game 1. Another jump forward for Epileptic Kid. Holds the Chrono though. Realizes there would be that swap save. But Iceberg jumps forward. He gets the grab onto Epileptic Kid instead. Now they've got swap targets. All the hook shot comes in. But actually ends up getting blocked by Epileptic Kid. Always want to fly gets dropped. And out comes the Chronosphere. There's no swap from the Venge. He's already dead. But the lights disarm there from the Heaven's Halberd. He mitigates a lot of the damage. But even still, V-Tune ends up dropping. Not enough save. GPK nearly dies. He might eventually drop that final attack that comes out from Iceberg. Finishes him off. Now everyone else on the side of VP needs to try and retreat. It looks like save's going to be an easy target here. And he will fall, but everyone else on the side of VP is already bailed. And there's even a buyback on V-Tune as well. So, I mean, VP, they got what they wanted. They've done a lot of economic damage. Despite the fact that they did lose GPK and saves lives. But, you know, it's a forced buyback on V-Tune. So the next time he dies, it's probably just game over. And looks like Epileptic Kid might just find a solo kill into General. Even Ilias is around here as well. Actually steals the last hit there with that one little impetus hit. Bambi needs something. Ilias is actually pretty farmed. 11k net worth. The VP are just on the hunt for constant kills at the moment. Every single time someone on the side of Na'Vi shows themselves, they just immediately start beelining towards them. It's like Na'Vi, maybe they were potential to go for some sort of play here, but Epileptic just keeps jumping in so aggressively. The hookshot comes forward from save, gets the grab onto V-Tune. He gets even finally the sword comes out from Wars Fire, tries to keep him alive, but GPK doesn't matter. He's just on the hunt after V-Tune. Now he has to try and stand his ground, do as much damage as possibly can. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Flaming Acid comes out onto Epileptic, trying to lock him down, but it doesn't matter. V-Tune's already got that's all of your damage. It's just Roger and Iceberg left. It's not going to be enough. And GG is actually called. Na'Vi tap out. They are done. Finally, at long last, VP have proven who the greatest CIS team is between these two. I said it at the start, right? 20 minutes shorter. It was going to be a 30-something minute one. Oh, I called it. I called it. You know, 70 minutes, down to 50 minutes, down to 36 minutes. I'm not saying, but, you know, big brain me, mate. Big brain. I'm predicting this stuff. Got the sixth sense. But even still, well played to VP. Definitely a much cleaner game, that one. Not as much of a slugfest as it was in the first and second game. Maybe able to take that in a much more dominant fashion. Epileptic Kid didn't even die a single time. Real dominance shown there by him. Just completely shut down the entire lineup of Na'Vi. Yeah, apparently this the Drow Venge lineup only works 1 out of 3 times. So that's a lesson learned there for Na'Vi. Maybe they might need to swap up their playstyle a little bit in the future. We'll have to wait and see what their future plans are, but I think they sort of needed that win for the league points. I think they're still in the running, but I think they have to win their next game, otherwise they will be put into a very dire situation. But either way, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this game, and hopefully you stick around for Secret vs Alliance, which is the next series coming up very soon, as this one has gone on for a lot longer than the schedule would have allowed for, so it'll probably be starting pretty pronto. So hopefully you guys stay around for that. And I'll see you then. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it, and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.